Good morning. My name is Janet Danley, and I want to wish you a very drippy little welcome to you. Even though Mother Nature kind of handed us a raw deal, we're here to celebrate nearly 165 students' achievement in certificates and degrees. Please join me in a round of applause for these graduates. I also want to thank the very special guests, our families and friends of our graduates. Graduates, you know dang well that you would not be here without those people's support. Let's give them a round of applause. Graduates, we're here today to celebrate a milestone. But if we've done our jobs right, you know that your learning has just begun. And we wish you the very best in a long life of productivity and learning and research that will benefit both you and your families. Congratulations on your very fine accomplishments. Before I begin the introductions of our dignitaries, I want to take a moment to recognize a very special group of graduates. Vets, would you please stand? These individuals may have literally left their line in the line of service, but today they're celebrating, along with everybody else, a distinct milestone in their academic career. You may be seated. Thank you. It is now my privilege to introduce you to dignitaries both here on the stage and in our audience. First, I would like to recognize the faculty and staff of Walla Walla Community College. Please stand. These folks keep the place going, right? Yeah. Thank you. Now, our esteemed board trustees. Mr. Miguel Sanchez, chair of this year's board. Please stand and be recognized. Dr. Roland Sherman, vice chair. Mr. Don McQuarrie, our newbie. Ms. Christine Clavino, and Ms. Darcy Fugman, also small, a new member of our board. In addition, I would like to introduce members of our executive team. President Steve Van Osdale. Vice President for Academic Instruction, Dr. Marlene Ramsey. Dr. Mindy Nelson, Vice President for Instruction, Workforce Education. And Ms. Wendy Samator, Vice President for Student Services. Also on the stage with me is Dr. Barbara Blasey, whom we're going to see a lot of. I have a special guest, Ms. Margot Ergon Harrington. Ms. Carol Bennett, Student Services Coordinator. We've already heard from the delightful Ms. Jennifer Few, who will be graduating with the honors. And this year's Associated Student Body Officers, Julie Kmeyer and April McElway. I would also like to recognize Ms. Ashley Morrison, our Vice President for Business. All righty, we'll get this show on the road with a welcome from our board.
Good morning. I want to welcome everyone on behalf of the Board of Trustees. I had something I wanted to read to you, but I'm not going to do that because I know we want to get out of here. But I want to tell everyone that there are some remarkable stories in that group. And I am so proud to hear those stories and your accomplishment. So with that, I'll just say congratulations to y'all and especially hello to my fellow veterans. Thank you.
I dressed up for the occasion and broke my foot, so here we go. Good morning, class of 2012. First, I want to say congratulations to you all. How exciting it is to be sitting out there in your tripped out cap and gowns. Who would have thought that recycled bottles would be so comfortable? I want you to sit back and relax and take it all in, because this is your day. A day of celebration, a day to recognize all of your accomplishments. I remember last year, at that time, I was sitting out there in the seats and I thought, OMG. I can't believe I'm still alive, and now I have to get a JOB? And then y'all voted me as your ASB president, so I couldn't let you down. I continued to take classes to make me a little bit smarter. What an amazing year it has been. I really don't want to make this about me, so let's talk about some classmates and instructors that have made a difference to all of us. Ashley Morrison. Without you, my life would have been really boring last year and this year. I really knew that there was not so many styles and shapes to a mustache. April McElway. I have been Jules to so many people, and because of you, I am Huli. But as Johnny would say, no, Mama, her name is Julie. Thank you, and I love you. Shane Snyder, thanks for all your hugs and your smiles in the morning. Oh, and by the way, wherever you are, you smell pretty good. Papa, I'm going to miss you so much. I am so proud of you. You deserve to be recognized. For a 58-year-old man, you sure have kept up with us PBL girls. We'll all miss you. Janie Steele, I am thinking of you as a superwoman. I hope you found your replacement to take over for PBL because there's no one like you. Linda Lane, wow, have you all taught us so much. And I personally don't know what I'm going to do without you saying you can and you will. Paul Boyd, you will no longer need a personal bodyguard. Sarah Egbert, thank you for teaching me that math really isn't that bad. And now you're going to have to train someone to set up your computer. Mary Wittenberg, there will be no one like you to replace Rose. Just remember, I'm on it, Rose. Katie, the things you have taught me in the business office, I will take that when I find a job. And Frances LeBrat, Penny, you're one hell of a woman. I'm going to miss you telling me you go get 'em. Jenny McConnell, I remember when I first met you. Intimidated? That's an understatement. And Barb Lazy, I wish you luck in your retirement. And I was thinking that since you're going to be bored, I'd really like a purse and a zipper bag. You're going to be missed, and we truly want you to enjoy your retirement. Last but not least, Janet Danley. Thank you for the support that you have given me. It has been a great pleasure working with you very closely. With all of that said, just remember that there are so many people in your life that have made a difference or have pushed you until you don't think that you can be pushed any further. Just don't give up on your dreams, your education, or your hopes. I have faith in all of you, and I hope that one day we will all be together again. Winston Churchill once said, and I live by this to this day, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Now I want to introduce somebody who really doesn't need to be introduced. In about January, when Barb Lazy told me she was going to retire, I nearly fell out of my desk chair. I just couldn't imagine Walla Walla Community College without Barb Lazy. But she seems to be pretty stuck on the idea of going away and leaving us. And we have been scrambling ever since to find a soul worthy to fill her size 20. Yeah, size 20 shoes. I don't know. Recently, I asked Barb to reflect a little bit on her career here at Walla Walla Community College, and she kind of looked at me quizzically and said, I don't think so. And I said, gosh, come on, give me some bullet points that I could use in your introduction. But modesty is ever her first name, and of course she didn't. So I'm going to wing it. Well, she came here in 1993, so 20 years is a pretty good run, wouldn't you say? Then she decided she would be like many of you all and become an adult learner and finish a doctorate in engineering of all things. Can you imagine? I don't know. However, she adroitly, very smoothly, combined her interest in engineering with her mathematics interest and taught you all, much to your chagrin at times, math. And in fact, she had such good vibes in her math class that one student on a long ago student evaluation said, if he had had a math teacher like Mrs. Blasey in high school, he would have been an engineer. And then there's a long dash. Yeah, I can become an engineer because now I understand math. So that kind of tells the story of Barb Blasey in the mathematics classroom. She also dismisses that she contributed much to the college. It was all the students who were her important people. But, you know, somewhere along the way, she served on at least 42 committees, started sports organizations, started the honors program. So, you know, she was just kind of whiling away her time. But Barb's first and true love, besides Dennis maybe, is reserved for her students. Students, despite her being the drill sergeant at times and despite the mountains of homework that she assigned, it's not going to be the same Walla Walla Community College when Barb leaves. Would you agree? Thank you, Barb.
Yeah, Barb.
Cut it out.
Good morning. When word spread that I would be giving the commencement address, the advice came pouring in. Make sure to have some math in it, tell some jokes, and above all, make it short. And given the weather conditions, boy howdy. There will be some math, but no variables, logarithms, or graphs, and no quizzes. And it will be short. I'm not much for jokes, but I do remember a comment made to me a few years ago by a student who had returned for a visit. A few of us were sitting around and talking about her life at LCSC, and the subject of sitting in the front row came up. She asked me if I knew why she sat in the front row in all of my classes. Was it because she was a good student and eager to learn? I asked. No, she replied. She sat in the front row because I smelled like a teacher. Now, I'm not really sure what that means, but teachers out there, who, by the way, are sitting in the front row, be aware we smell. There was an article first published in 1990 called If the World Were a Village of 100 People. I first heard of it sitting right here in a 2002 commencement. And while I haven't thought of it much in the past 10 years, one statistic stayed with me, and that was the number of people who in the world who obtained a college degree. That was 1%. And what surprises me even more is 22 years later, it's still 1%. And although 34% of the population in the U.S. enrolls in higher education, he wants to help me with my speech. We rank 12th in the world for the percentage of 25 to 35-year-olds with an associate degree or higher. 12th out of the 36 recording nations. To me, that's an amazingly and alarmingly low. In 2010, though, we were number 10. We are slipping as a nation. If we look at just math and science, we rank 17th in the world. Some studies say that by 2025, there'll be a shortage of 20 million college-educated workers in the U.S. Now, you have all set the standard. You may be the latest generation or the first generation in your family to obtain a college degree. No matter, you did it. Some of you will be going forward in your education for a degree in nursing here at WWCC, or transferring to a 4-year institution for a bachelor's degree or higher. Good luck to you and study hard. It will be over before you know it. You've honed your study skills here, and hopefully we, as a faculty and staff, have prepared you for the years ahead. For those of you seeking a job in today's job market, here are some tips to land that perfect job. According to Attico's 2012 graduation survey of college students, 8% of college grads took a parent with them on an interview. 3% of them actually had a parent sit in on the interview process. Here's a hint. Leave your parents and BFF at home. A job interview is not a group activity on your part. 12% of the new college grads said they would not work for an employer who wouldn't allow them to check Twitter or Facebook at work. 25% would not take a job that wouldn't allow personal phone calls on company time, and 5% wouldn't work for a company that wouldn't allow them to shop online or check sports scores while at work. Now, I've heard a few chuckles out there, but these things actually happen. I just hope that you all are in the majority here when you're seeking a job, and don't be included in these numbers. And don't let your learning stop here. Hunger for knowledge and instill that hunger in the next generation. Don't let a day slip by without learning something, and challenge yourself. All of us associated with Walla Walla Community College are extremely proud of you today. This day, graduation day, is why we come here to teach, advise, or support. It is by far the best day of the year for all of us as well as you. This is our chance to celebrate your accomplishments with you and your loved ones. In parting, I'd like to share just a portion of my favorite poem that I've had on my bulletin board at every job I've ever had. It's called The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other just as fair. I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I'm honored to have given the commencement address today. The first of many reasons is that I began my education right where you are with my associate degree many years ago. It has been a long and wondrous journey for me through jobs and education, and my hope is that it will be for you as well. Do what you love and love what you do. I have, and I've never regretted it. Mark Twain said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the things you did do. Now, my challenge for you is to go forward from here. Don't look back, except to reflect on what you have accomplished. You have taken the road less traveled. Visit, but move on. And good luck wherever this may take you. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you.